We've all been there, right? Lying awake at night with that nagging cough you just can't shake. It doesn't matter if it's a dry, irritating tickle or one that's full of phlegm, it's just awful. Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down a really simple and powerful home remedy that can give you fast relief using stuff you probably already have in your kitchen. So, if you're tired of trying one cough syrup after another and nothing seems to work, you are definitely going to want to hear this. We're about to look at a traditional recipe that's known to tackle both types of coughs, the dry ones and the phlegmy ones, really effectively. Okay, let's get right into it. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the 5 key ingredients and exactly why they're so good at what they do. Then, I'll walk you through the super simple recipe. After that, we'll cover how to use it correctly for the best results, and finally, we'll go over a few important precautions to keep in mind. Okay, so what is the magic behind this remedy? Let's start with the 5 powerful ingredients that form its foundation. And here's the best part. Chances are you have every single one of them sitting in your kitchen right now. Here they are: black pepper, black salt, carom seeds, green cardamom, and good old ginger. Each one of these plays a really specific and important role in soothing that cough and clearing out your airways. So what does each one actually do? Let's take a closer look. First up, black pepper. Now you see that word on the slide, expectorant. What does that even mean? Well, basically, it's a fancy way of saying it helps thin out and loosen all that stubborn phlegm that's stuck in your chest, making it way easier for you to cough it up and out. This helps clean out your airways and can even reduce infection. Next on our list is black salt. You know when you have a bad cough and your whole chest just feels tight and constricted? Well, black salt works to relax that stiffness in your airways. This is great because it gives you relief from both dry and phlegmy coughs and just makes it feel easier to breathe. And then we have carom seeds, which you might also know as ajwain. If you've ever had that heavy, congested feeling deep in your chest, this is the ingredient that goes right after it. It's a powerhouse when it comes to breaking up that congestion. Green cardamom is awesome because it kind of does double duty. On one hand, it has properties that help fight off infection, soothing that scratchy, irritated throat. And on the other hand, it also helps clear phlegm from your chest. It's a great 2-in-1 punch. And of course, we have to talk about the incredible ginger. It is just packed with anti-inflammatory compounds. And this is so important because it helps reduce any swelling and infection in the lungs. It soothes the whole respiratory system, and it is fantastic at clearing out mucus, a true all-star ingredient. Okay, so now that we know why all these ingredients are so effective, let's get into the practical side of things. Here's your step-by-step guide to actually making this remedy. All right, let's get our ingredients lined up. You're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of black salt, 1 teaspoon of carom seeds, 4 teaspoons of grated ginger, the seeds from about 4 to 5 green cardamom pods, and finally, 5 tablespoons of jaggery. That's what's going to bind it all together. Making it is actually super simple. First, just mix all your dry ingredients, the powders, the seeds, the ginger, all together in a bowl. Next, in a pan, gently heat the jaggery with just a tiny bit of water, and make sure you do this on a low flame. As soon as the jaggery melts, toss in your ingredient mix. Now this next part is really important. Cook it for only 1 to 2 minutes. If you cook it too long or let the jaggery burn, the whole thing will turn bitter. Once it's ready, just transfer it into a clean glass jar to store it. So, you've made the remedy. That's great. But how do you actually use it to get the best results? This next part is absolutely key to making sure it works. All right, let's talk dosage because this is important. For adults, the right amount is 1/2 teaspoon. Now, if you're giving this to older kids, say between 10 and 16 years old, you'll want to cut that dose in half, so just 1/4 teaspoon. And please note, this remedy is not recommended for children under 10 years old. For the best results, you'll want to take it twice a day. Once when you get up in the morning, and again right before you go to bed. If you're having a really bad coughing fit, it's perfectly fine to take an extra dose right when you need it. And always, this is a big one, always take it with a little bit of warm water. You should start to feel relief surprisingly fast. Okay, to wrap things up, let's quickly cover a few essential do's and don'ts. Following these little tips will help make sure the remedy works exactly like it's supposed to, both safely and effectively. After you take a dose, you really want to stay away from anything cold or sour, so no cold drinks or citrusy foods for a bit. Also, smoking is a big no-no, as it'll just work against what the remedy is trying to do. For a typical chronic cough, using this for about 3 to 7 days should give you some major relief. But for those really stubborn, deep coughs, it's actually safe to use for up to a month.
And honestly, this quote just says it all. It really illustrates the power of this simple mixture. The source material puts a lot of emphasis on how fast-acting it is, claiming you can expect your cough to start calming down in just 10 minutes. That's pretty amazing. So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, it's that sometimes a really powerful solution to a frustrating problem is already sitting right there in your kitchen cabinet. This remedy offers a natural, effective alternative to all those over-the-counter medicines. It kind of makes you wonder, right? What other traditional wisdom might we be overlooking in our everyday lives?
Please subscribe to my channel, HealthWise USA.